Let me take you back to a conversation I recently had. A potential client had just finally launched her first offer after months of building it in a bubble, inside a vacuum, without validating her offer. She didn't get any sales. And when we really dug into it, she said, I don't think people really trust me yet. Not because I'm not good at what I do, but because they don't know who I am. And that, my friend, is the real story of the 2025 market. It's not that people aren't buying, it's that they're buying differently. So welcome to today's episode in the Kingdom Business Revolution podcast, where I am going to extract a market address I gave the members inside the activation room, my membership that I just launched, and we're still in the founding member stages, so there's still time to get in at a special investment. It's not that people aren't buying, it's that they're buying differently. So welcome to the Trust Recession, where skepticism is high, attention is short, and buyers are looking for more than just bold promises. But here's the good news. If you're in the beginning stages of your business, like most of my clients I work with, you're not behind. You're actually ahead because you have a chance to build the one thing this market values most: trust. And in this episode, I'm going to talk about why beginners are uniquely positioned to win right now, and why, as a Kingdom Woman entrepreneur, you have a unique advantage in this online space. I'll be breaking down why high ticket isn't dead, but the old way of selling it is, and how you can actually win faster in today's skeptical market. Because here's the truth, we're not in a financial crisis, we're in a trust recession. Buyers aren't broke, they're burned. And they're done with overpriced promises that don't deliver. So if you're ready to rise up as a Kingdom Woman entrepreneur and build a business that's rooted in real value and authentic connection, and one that actually gets your people results, then this episode is your blueprint. Welcome to the Kingdom Revolution podcast, the online podcast for mamas against the mainstream agenda. We are redefining faith in online business to empower you, the Christian mama, to find and strengthen your roar, to clarify your calling so that you can create, grow, and launch a profitable, impactful, and scalable business by God's design without being a slave to social media and without sacrificing your faith and values. You know that you've been called to business and you want to do it God's way, not the world's way. A business that is based off the blueprint He put inside of you. A business by God's design, one that incorporates your testimony and inner fire to make a difference in this world. Like me, you don't mind going down a few rabbit holes, but you don't have to go down one to see that there is a war on future generations, a war on families, and a war against you, that Kingdom Warrior Mama called to business, a war to silence your voice and movement. I believe your online business is your battlefield. It's how you get to show up and use that voice to create kingdom wealth and take back what the enemy has stolen. You have that inner fire to change your family's legacy, to take your passions, knowledge, life experiences, or even that hobby that you love and create an online business, bringing a heavenly solution down to an earthly problem. Maybe you have too many ideas. You're not even quite sure where to start. Or maybe you've been struggling for a few months, even years, duct taping it all together with worldly tactics and strategies that are just leaving you confused, overwhelmed, and questioning your calling. If that's you, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm your host, Kristen Duranci. I'm a wife, mama, ex-9-to-5er, and daughter of the King. I am a mama against the mainstream agenda who is using her voice and her online business to fight against the evils going on in today's world. I believe God is calling women back into position to a kingdom revolution, to the battlefield. to find and strengthen their voice, to stand firm for biblical truth, to be the change they want to see in this world. My mission battlefield? Restoring the family unit the way God intended, to bring mamas home so that they can be the one raising their warriors for the kingdom while making impact and income. So join me each week as I dive into honest conversations about my journey, tactical tips, spiritual and mindset strategies, along with the step-by-step plan to empower you to take that step of faith, to partner with God, to create, build, and launch an online business by His design without being a slave to social media. So if you're ready to say yes to all of this, you're not afraid to rock that status quo and be part of a kingdom revolution, then armor up with Ephesians 6 and put on the full armor of God, because you are a warrior for the kingdom, and He is going to use you and your online business to do some pretty amazing things here on this side of heaven. Hey, welcome back to the Kingdom Business Revolution podcast. I'm your host, Kristen Durante. Before we get into today's episode, which I extracted from the activation room inside the Fast Business Foundations, where I gave the founding members a State of the 2025 market address, which you will be able to listen to here shortly, I wanted to introduce to you the activation room, because one of the biggest mistakes I have been seeing in conversations with amazing kingdom women entrepreneurs like you is that they're stuck because they're trying to skip stages. They're trying to build a stage 3 business when they haven't mastered the stage 1 foundations. They're trying to build systems for businesses they haven't even validated yet. So they find themselves working their tail off in their business, wondering why their results aren't matching their efforts, why they're not seeing the fruits of their labor. And my friend, if that sounds like you, chances are you're doing the right things, but at the wrong time. That is one of the biggest reasons I see kingdom women in online business plateau, stall out, question their calling, and then give up because they're trying to execute stage 3 strategies when they're still in stage 1, building their business foundation. And here's what I know. Understanding what stage you're in and focusing on the right activities for that stage is crucial for sustainable growth. Simplicity scales. If you ask a 6 or 7 figure entrepreneur what they focus on, each and every time they will tell you they consistently focus on the foundations. They're not chasing those new trends. They're not trying to figure out TikTok and the latest strategies. They are focusing on the foundations of audience growth, lead generation, their sales conversion system, and delivering an offer and helping their people get results. And that's what we're going to do together inside the activation room. Focus on the foundations of your business, because there's a gap in the marketplace. You've collected the knowledge, you consume the information, but you haven't activated, you haven't implemented, because you've been duct taping it together, or you are trying to build a stage 3 business when you haven't mastered the 3 systems that you need to master in the foundation of your business. You don't need more courses to duct tape your business together. You don't need another freebie to chase that next step. What you do need to do is implement the right systems at the right stage of business so you can finally build revenue and profits. The systems that you activate inside the activation room so that you can stop piecemealing everything together is your authority building system so that you can become known and trusted in your niche, even if you're starting out, without being a slave to social media, the audience building system that'll attract the right people you're called to serve, the sales conversion system, which allows you to actually convert those people, and then the delivery system so you can serve your clients with excellence while creating space to grow sustainably. You cannot afford not to be in this room. You are going to be getting monthly business trainings that keep you up to date with a constantly changing online market world with the rooms that I am sitting in and what I am learning. Live strategy and Q&A sessions, live co-working sessions, growth goals and planning sessions, and a private audio podcast each and every month that gives you a monthly mindset reset. Because strategy is the doing, but mindset is the being. And I want to make sure that you are connected with the one who's called you to entrepreneurship so that you can make an eternal impact on this side of heaven. And right now we're in a founding member launch. It's only $37 a month, less than your Starbucks coffee each and every month. And that includes all core trainings, coaching, implementation, and community access. After we reach our first 50, which we're getting pretty close, is going to increase to $49. So come on in the activation room. There is no contract. If you don't like it, you are more than welcome to leave. But my goal is to make this the most valuable thing that you have invested in a long time. You can find the link in the show notes to join us as a founding member. All right, back to today's episode. I'm going to try to be brief and give you an overview of the market landscape for 2025. Now, as I'm recording this, it is September 2025, and we have seen this marketing flip, which some people call the doubt economy or the trust recession. We've been seeing this take place for the past year and a half. Will this be the same in the middle of 2026? I don't know. If it's not, I definitely will be coming and updating you and giving you a state of the market address, I guess you could say. So the business landscape of 2025 and the past, I would say almost close to 2 years, have seen this fundamental shift of how buyers are operating and how businesses need to shift in order to stay relevant. We're all experiencing what the experts are calling a doubt economy or the trust recession. And it's key to understand that this period is not defined by financial scarcity, okay? There's still money out there. People are still buying high ticket, but they're buying in a different way. What this period is defined by is a trust recession. There is a scarcity of trust, not a scarcity of financial means in order to invest in something. So we are in a little bit of a harder market, and those that have 7-figure businesses are seeing more of the struggle. So for you, you're in the activation room or in the academy, chances are you are at the beginning stages. You have not yet consistently made 2K, 3K, 5K months consistently. Maybe you've had an influx here and there, but it hasn't been consistent because you don't have the fundamentals in place that you're going to be working on inside the activation room, right? But for you that are really in the beginning stages, either you've launched, you made some sales, you're going to restructure a few things based on what we talk about here and what we do inside the activation room, you have a unique opportunity. This is the best time for those that are just getting started, who are going to tap into a core things that the market wants, but to do a beta founding member launch, even if that's going to be your higher ticket program, 2K, 3K, whatever that looks like, a higher ticket program, now is the best time to do a beta founding member launch in the constraints of this market landscape, because you're going to bring a high value product that you are going to monetize as you're creating it with your ideal clients so that they get tremendous results from you at a lower investment than what it would be if you sold it outright as your higher ticket product or when you launch the full-blown course, product, program, or service, or even your one-on-one services to the world. A beta founding member program brings people in so you can monetize as you create it at a significant lower investment. So it plays right into what people are wanting in this economy, with using your beta founding member launch as a sense as that trust building offer or that trust pathway to eventually that higher ticket that you might be creating. So some things that you need to understand what this economy is not. I already said it's not a traditional recession with a lack of money. There is money out there. Yes, people do have less disposable income than what they've had in the past, but they are still purchasing to get their problem solved. It is not a temporary market correction. What it is a trust and confident recession, because people have purchased things in the past that have overpromised and underdelivered. We are in a time where consumers' discernment is heightened, whether you are a believer or not, and it's driven by past disappointments in the online space, which insert you, Kingdom Entrepreneur, you have an amazing opportunity here, because I wholeheartedly believe that Kingdom Women Entrepreneurs are the ones who are going to restore trust back into the economy, because you're going to provide massive, massive results for your clients. Now, the challenge that we're facing, because like I said, the true currency right now is trust. That is the real currency, okay? When we can instill that back into the buyers, then we have a unique opportunity ahead of everyone else that have been seeing their revenues decrease, especially those higher 7-8-figure entrepreneurs who don't understand what has taken place. And they are so far removed from their people or from their clients because they maybe have a team that are teaching their clients, or they have created something where they just put a course in someone's hands and there's no human interaction. So buyers have become skeptical by default, obviously, because authenticity is gone. The human connection is gone. And AI, what's real, what's not? It's not just the business landscape either. It's what's going on in our economy and our world, the world governments, and the day and age that we're in. We're like, is that really real? I mean, I could go into a lot of what's been taking place that we're questioning, like, what's really the truth here? So it's no fault of our own that we have to question things now, right? And we are highly discerning. Your buyer is highly discerning because of those past investments where they've been disappointed. They've raised the bar exponentially, and now they're bringing those past disappointments into their current buying decisions. So you, as the entrepreneur and business owner, needs to take that into consideration and understand that when you're speaking to your ideal client, and even call it out. Like, let's talk about that elephant in the room. You've probably had this and this and this happen, right? That's going to allow you to be more authentic as well, and understand and meet them where they are at their current operating reality. So we also do face, like I mentioned, the cost of living has increased substantially, but ideal clients and your people still desire high ticket solutions, but they face these changing circumstances of, I want to get this problem solved. They have the financial means to do it, but they're taking a longer time to make that decision because they're like, they have their past buying experiences that they bring into their current decision-making process. And they're wondering, can I trust this person? Who is this person, right? And that really creates a unique opportunity for you as well, because there is this pent-up demand. People want premium services. They want results, all right? But the traditional ways of people coming into your world and purchasing from you or from online buyers no longer work, okay? We're going to talk about what is working and what you're going to be doing inside the activation room. And if you watch the 30,000-foot overview of what we're going to be doing together, I kind of alluded to that. Once you map out your signature framework, how you help someone get results, you're going to beta launch it. And then you're going to determine whether or not what you just launched is your trust building offer or your trust pathway to a higher ticket service, or if that is your high ticket program. And then we figure out, working with your ideal clients you just worked with, or your clients that paid for you to get that result for them, as well as digging into your signature framework. What can we pull out, or what can we actually create as that trust pathway to your high ticket offer? All right. Because of this market shift, and traditional strategies aren't working anymore. They've lost their effectiveness, right? Because of the trust recession. And what these traditional strategies are with high ticket launches, you've seen this. People launch, and I've done this myself, right? We do a live launch. Live launches still work. There's no question about that. I do want you to live launch, whether it's a 2-day challenge, a 3-day event, whatever that looks like, because there's different nuances. But getting in front of your people, voice and value visibility so they can see you, hear you, know you, like you, trust you, hear the convictions in your voice, that goes a long way, right? We can no longer hide behind a camera and think that, or hide behind a camera or hide behind pictures and think that people are going to come to us. We have to use our voice and get out there. Live launches still work, but live launches leading into high ticket strategies don't necessarily work as well. So what I mean by that, back 3, 4, 5 years ago, even when I started 2018, 19, we could run paid ads to a free lead magnet or run paid ads to a live launch or a webinar and bring cold leads in, and they could attend one live launch and they would upsell into a high ticket program, anywhere from $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. Maybe they'd have to sit there twice in a live launch, but they would upsell into a high ticket program. Well, that doesn't happen anymore because of the trust recession. They have past buying behaviors to bring into their current buying strategy, and now they're more discerning. Like, wait, I need to actually understand if this is going to work for me before I invest in that high ticket program. Informational-based products, informational-based content isn't working. People can Google knowledge and get their information through AI and anywhere. What they are seeking is as high value information that's actually going to give them a transformation right there. They can actually start to implement. So that direct to consumer high ticket sales from a cold traffic, that doesn't work anymore. And we've had those bait and switch tactics where these successful gurus promise personal access but deliver minimal involvement. I definitely saw this. I was in one of those bait and switch tactics where I thought I was going to be getting services from this person and meeting with them, and they were going to be helping me. I actually purchased a high ticket one-on-one package, but I was with their team. Like, wait, what? So once again, insert the trust recession. Buyers are making decisions differently than they did 6 to 9 months ago. They're not looking for free information, educational content, surface level engagement, and empty promises. They're looking for real, tangible transformation, which they always have been. We've always been looking for this. Real, tangible transformation, authentic relationships, and human connection, right? Before making major investments. This hasn't changed. Somehow along the way, we had this influx of online business owners who took all that out, and people were still buying because of their expert status, which isn't the case anymore because they didn't see a return on their investment. They're also looking for the ability to test drive something before committing, right? So how can you give that to them? And a question I want you to think about as well is, if you had to give someone a transformation, solve their problem before they paid you, how would you show up? How would you act? What kind of service would you give them, right? That's what we should be doing with every type of program, service, product, one-on-one that we have with somebody when they're paying for our services. So we are going to be talking about a new model, what I've been implementing and what I've seen by sitting in these other rooms with my coach and mentor who sits in other rooms with 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs, is a new winning model that is actually working, which leads to what we're going to be talking about right now. The old model is cold lead, heavy marketing, discovery calls, leading them into a live launch and selling high ticket. That doesn't work anymore because you're having that heavy reliance on cold leads, which is an external acquisition. And it's quite expensive to reach strangers. And then since the buying cycle is longer, they're sitting in your messaging ecosystem longer, wondering, hey, is this person going to provide value in their high ticket program? So conversion is a lot lower, which if you haven't been in the online space trying to sell, you haven't noticed, which is okay, which is a good thing for you because insert the new model that we're going to be doing together and insert that trust pathway offer, which gives people momentum and a quick win. And you, instead of focusing on external leads to then sell into your high ticket program, you have this internal pool of people who you have already worked with that you can tap into and upsell to your high ticket because it's the next natural progression. Okay. So your beta launch that we put together could be your trust pathway offer at that point of time. And then once you do the debrief and we take a look at everything that you've done, you've gotten those people results, you've gotten testimonials and social proof, you can talk to them. Maybe what you just put together and mapped out, that is your high ticket offer. And next time you bring it to market, it's going to be significantly higher. Then we get to reverse engineer and create your trust pathway offer, which is a lower ticket offer, but not the way that the world states low ticket. Most people will teach you that, hey, you're going to have high ticket and then you're going to have low ticket. And this low ticket is for those that can't afford your high ticket. No. We don't view it that way. Your trust pathway offer is still speaking to your level 10 client. Those that have a problem, they're actively seeking a solution, and they have the means to purchase high ticket, but they don't have that trust yet in you. They don't know if you can actually get them the result. Insert the trust pathway offer, where clients come in through a low barrier entry. It is a no-brainer, yes, because you view these trust pathway offers as a seamless transition to your mid or high ticket solutions. So the way you think of the trust pathway offer is if you were at the grocery store and you wanted a candy bar and you're at the checkout line, you see the candy bar, like, yeah, I want that. You put it on the conveyor belt and you pay for it and off you go. You didn't have to check your bank account to see if you had money to purchase it. You didn't have to call your husband and ask for permission to purchase a candy bar, right? You weren't going to go behind on your house or car payment by purchasing that candy bar. You saw it, you wanted it, it solved the problem that you had at that time of wanting the candy bar, and you purchased it. That is what your trust pathway offer is. And when you implement what we're going to be doing together inside the activation room, you map out your signature framework, your B2Y. You have a beta launch, whether or not you have to do some leads in your audience building system to bring some leads in and then do a beta launch, but you're going to do a beta launch. And then after you're done with that, you're going to take a step back and say, all right, is this my high ticket, my mid or high ticket? And if so, then what am I going to create in front of that to use as a trust pathway offer into the high ticket? Because high ticket isn't dead, it's just evolving. High ticket services are not disappearing, not at all. The demand is there. But they're looking for that trust pathway first. And when you can put something like that together, that a 30,000 foot view would be your trust pathway offer. And that is what you're making sales to every single day, every time you show up, every time you add value, every time you do a launch, you are having that call to action to your trust pathway offer. And then they get those results, they get that quick win, and then the next logical step is into your mid-ticket or high ticket, okay? That you are making high ticket sales from your internal buyers list, from trust pathway offer, not from external people that you are bringing in and trying to sell high ticket to. So in this day and age, in this trust deficit economy, We're going to see these characteristics of these business leaders flourish. And each and every single one of you has these characteristics. So I don't want you to be afraid of the economy that we're in because it's a unique opportunity for us. Authentic authority, right? Step fully into your God-given authority. Lead boldly without apology and your convictions. Trust first approach. Build relationships before asking for significant high-ticket investments. You do that through low barrier entry experiences that Trust Pathway offer, and you deliver real value at every stage of the customer journey that you map out and provide human, genuine involvement and personal attention in everything that we do. Have an adaptive strategy. Recognize that the path to high ticket has changed. If someone is telling you to put together a 10K offer in this market and go to market with it, run, because that is not what's going to work. There has to be a pathway to that embraces an internal ascension model with your internal buyers, and you're continually refining it based on market research. And when you can understand that your buyers and your potential ideal clients are empowered, that is going to significantly have a mindset shift as well. When you understand that your people you want to serve and God is calling you to serve can see through those bait and switch promises, minimal involvement, generic approaches, because they do value and they will invest in human, authentic relationships based on trust and real transformation, not just information. So that Trust Pathway Ascension model is going to be the fastest and most effective path to your higher ticket program and high ticket sales in 2025 and beyond. If we looked at it from left to right, but we're not building it that way, but let's just hypothetically say you have everything in place. Phase one is that trust offer pathway, which is a low barrier entry point, low price, low commitment, and low risk that delivers a genuine quick win. It brings clients into your sales ecosystem by hundreds because there is a pent-up demand. And it proves your area of expertise and your methodology. And phase two is that momentum and transformation. Clients experience real results after that initial trust pathway offer, which builds confidence and trust in you and your process, which also, as a beginner, allows you to build confidence in yourself. And it develops an appetite for deeper engagement. And there's a natural desire that your clients have for more support, and those new opportunities for more support will emerge because they'll tell you what they want. And then you have that internal upsell, the seamless transition from your trust pathway to those mid or higher ticket offerings. And those clients are already pre-qualified and ready to invest because they went through your trust pathway offer. And we see higher conversion rates due to that established trust. So some things that you get to do now besides putting together your beta founding member launch, and depending on what stage of business that you're at, is to understand that we are in a relationship-based marketing era. And building a trust pathway to eventually your high ticket program is going to be beneficial. Mapping out that customer journey from a cold lead, someone that just found you, and how did they find you, into your trust pathway all the way to your high ticket is going to allow you to have seamless transitions between each level. And make sure, which I know I don't have to tell you this, embrace authentic authority. Step into your area of expertise without apology. We need more of that in the online space with your convictions, and understand that you're viewing selling as a service. It's a service, and we're building genuine relationships. The bottom line is that the market isn't broken. It's just evolved, and the rules have changed, and those that adapt will not just survive, but thrive. And like I said, insert the Kingdom Woman Entrepreneur. You have an amazing opportunity here because people are still spending, they're still buying, they're just more careful about where high-ticket services have a amazing, bright future, especially as AI tries to take over everything. And those that use AI front-facing in their business, they're going to have a hard time. Okay? They're going to have a hard time. So make sure that you do have that human interaction. And if you use AI in your business, make sure you're using it and teaching it as a way to save time or money. Don't have it replace you and your connection to your people, because trust is the new currency and that's never going to be going away. It's not. Trust is the new currency, and authenticity and staying connected with your people is how you're going to earn it. So a few things to think about when you keep moving forward. Recognize that we're in a trust recession, not a financial one. Trust is the new currency. And strategically pivot where you need to strategically pivot in order to focus on internal buyers that you will upsell into your high-ticket program. Develop a trust pathway that brings people into your world. Be authentic and in great depth in everything that you do, and commit to real transformations, because the question isn't whether this market will reward that approach. It already is. We're seeing it. I'm seeing it in the rooms that I'm sitting in. My coach and mentor is seeing it. So the only question is, will you adapt and have that mindset shift in order to capitalize on it? And I know the answer is yes, because you're inside the activation room. And understand that the world is drowning in information and knowledge. Activation, trust, is the ultimate differentiator. And transformation is the only product that's worth selling. And it's what your people want. All right, my friend, I pray this episode blessed you today. It gave you an insight into the 2025 market and what we are potentially going to be seeing in 2026. And if you are ready to activate your offer, activate your messaging, activate your lead generation, join us inside the activation room. The link is in the show notes. It's only $37, and we still have a few founding member spots left. Be blessed, my friend. That's it for today, friends. Real quick before you go, if this podcast has blessed you in some way, the number one way that you can thank me is to leave a written review over on Apple Podcasts. The second thing you can do is take a screenshot of this episode or that review and tag me over on social media in your stories at Kristen Duranci. And then I will share you in my stories and give you a shout out. This not only blesses me, but you are creating a ripple effect by getting this message into the hands of others that might need to hear it. And know that there's only one you. Someone is out there waiting to hear from you. They're waiting for your message, your story, and your solution to their problem. You are the expert they're waiting to hear from. I want you to know this, feel this, and most importantly, be this. Never underestimate the impact and power that you have been given through the Holy Spirit. Be blessed, friend, and I'll see you on the next episode.